Hey, so I'm here in gorgeous St. Lucia, and today is actually my husband's 40th birthday, which is one of the main reasons why we decided to vacation here. Also, I wanted to just kind of go over there's certain things if you want to come to St. Lucia while the pandemic is still raging all over the world. There's certain things you have to do to get here. So if that's something you want to hear about, then stay tuned. So first things first, you want to go to St. Lucia. Absolutely fantastic, beautiful country. It's May here, so the temperature here is in the 80s. Humidity's not too crazy. It is humid. I'm not gonna lie, it's still the Caribbean, and it's beautiful. However, they are extremely strict of who comes into their country. Extremely strict. So I'm going to break it down to you how myself, my husband, and our 4-year-old son was able to get here successfully, but it takes planning. So we're going to go through it step by step. First things first, always make sure you have your flight and your hotel. And the biggest thing with hotel, you need to look online. Your hotel, according to the government of St. Lucia, has to be COVID approved. So it's not everywhere that you can go at the moment to stay as a foreigner, I should say. So check online, and St. Lucia has a fantastic website, their government website. I'm going to post it below. This is the website to go for all things concerning COVID, St. Lucia, entry requirements, quarantine requirements, and everything like that. So make sure you check out the website first, book at a hotel that's COVID approved, and make sure you have your flight information. Okay? So that's the first thing. Everyone, regardless of age, has to get separate travel authorization to enter the country. So there is a form that everyone must fill out, separate form per family member, no matter how old or young they are, and it has to be through their website, the exact same website I just showed before. So that has to happen first. You can do this form months and weeks in advance of your trip. You don't have to do it right when your trip is coming up because it is lengthy. They ask specific questions about your health screenings. They ask specific questions about what hotel you're staying at and what's your flight information. So the always first thing to do, book your trip first, then fill out the travel authorization form on the St. Lucia government website. Okay? So once you do that, and that's done, your trip is coming up. They state, according to the website, within 5 days. It's not just business days, 5 days. Within 5 days of your trip, all members 5 years and older must get a negative PCR COVID exam. What does that mean, PCR? So and in the United States it's a little tricky, so let me kind of break it down to you. There's something called a rapid test where they're kind of really just testing for antigens in your blood. That's not the test they need. They need a molecular PCR test. So what we did, we went to our family practitioner just to get our checkups, our annual checkups. That was a perfect time to do it. And we told her the test that we needed, and luckily the government in the United States, the FDA, has approved a molecular PCR test that is a rapid test. So that means we can get the results within 15 minutes. So that's fantastic. So whatever test you're getting, it got to be a PCR. They will not let you into the country without it. So make sure you got that booked or scheduled. If you have to reserve ahead of time, it has to be within 5 days of your trip. 5. So we were flying out on a Tuesday night. We did our test that Friday before. Got our test results within 15 minutes. Even though our son is 4, I wasn't taking any chances. He's old enough to do a lot of things. So he took the test too, just to be safe. And it's the same nasal swab all the way up. But yeah, it's 15 minutes for us. Not every country has a 15-minute test. The PCR normally takes 2 to 3 business days. That's why they give you that 5-day buffer to get that done. So, travel authorization's done. You're coming up towards your trip. You know, you're within the 5-day window. You got your PCR test. Now you got your results. Now this is where it gets tricky and people have to really pay attention. You have to also upload your results, and they don't just want the results. They want the official lab report. The official lab report of your results have to be first uploaded up into your online application. So when you do your online travel authorization application, you did that a while ago, they sent you an email confirmation that they've received it, and this is your reference number. You use that reference number, you get to log into the website, and all the applications that you filled in from that one email address that you registered, it will all be there, and you can upload your COVID results. Also, on the website, they have a specific email address, and this is to their health ministry, of where you need to put in your COVID exam. So not only you have to upload it to their government website, the health ministry needs an email copy of your lab report for everyone that's traveling. Usually within the same day, especially if it's during the week, within the same day, or actually I did mine on a Saturday. So I uploaded everything on a Saturday and I emailed the ministry, and they responded back to me within an hour or two. And if they have any other questions, they'll let you know via email. If they don't, they'll approve you or deny you, and you will get your official travel authorization via email per passenger. You have to print this out. And you will also get, they call it a travel quarantine form. And they're saying, oh, well, why do you have to quarantine? Technically, once you land here, everyone has to quarantine regardless of where you came from. And so if you're going to a resort like we did, technically that's your quarantine period, the time you're at your resort. And even if you go to outside excursions that is booked by your resort, that's still considered quarantine because those were approved by the government. So even if you travel off the resort, that's the only time you can travel off the resort. It has to be an approved, COVID approved excursion from the resort. That's technically a part of your quarantine. So it's not like you're stuck here. But especially with this country right now, not everything's open, and you can't just roam the island. It's just not possible. They're keeping it very strict for a reason. So back to that form. So yes, so once you get your forms, the best thing to do is print everything out. So these are the things you need to print out. And this is prior to your trip. Print out your hotel accommodations. You should have your lab reports of all your PCR negative test exams results. You need a printout of all the travel authorization forms per passenger. And you need a copy of the travel quarantine forms per passenger. Once you have all that filled out and printed out, you are set. So they're like, whoa, what is all this paperwork? Oh my God, what is going on? So when you get to the airport, this is the day of the flight. When you get to the airport, first of all, they're not letting you check in online if you're going international at all because of the COVID restrictions. So everything has to be done at the ticket booth. Once you check in your bags and things like that, you have to show the agent before you even get to the TSA line all your documentation. So if none of and also the copies have to be clear. Whatever you're printing out, you better have ink and toner into that copy machine, or go to Staples or go to Office Max and get it printed out. But it needs to be clear. If there is anything smudged or it's not legible, they can't read it, it's a wrap. You can't go. Like, I've seen a couple of people, they're like, we can't accept this. So you don't want to be that person the day you're trying to travel. So make sure your copies are printed out correctly, clear and legible, and the agent at the ticket desk of the airline. We flew Delta, but I think it's Delta. I think American comes out here. It's not too many airlines, but they want to see everything prior to TSA. You get through TSA. We had a connection flight, so we flew from Phoenix to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta we had to go to get to the international wing to go to St. Lucia. So before we got on the flight to St. Lucia, they checked again. So they checked those forms again. You get to the location in St. Lucia, they check again. So they're checking 3 times. So make sure those forms are handy. What we did, we printed it out. We stapled everything per passenger, and we had like a little manila envelope or folder to put it in, just so it's organized. And of course, you have to have your passports. So for us, everything was super smooth because we were organized, and I think that's the best way to go. And of course, once you land in St. Lucia, they do a health screening. They're very big on sanitizing your hands. So there's hand sanitizer everywhere, and just follow directions. If they're telling you they need a temperature check, just do the temperature check. I know every time we go to dinner, every time we are eating, or we have to go inside, you have to wear a mask. You're getting your temperature checked. There's hand sanitizer everywhere, or they're squirting it for you. So everything's been very compliant. And like I said, not abrasive or anything, and everything's socially distanced. All the hotels, I believe, are only at 35% capacity. So you're not going to get a crowded resort. And I appreciate all that they do to make sure that everyone's safe. So technically, everyone that's here should be COVID-free. Should be. But even if they are still mandating masks when you're indoors and mandating social distancing. So I can appreciate that. So hopefully, that's a lot of information, I know. But I know when I was researching St. Lucia and I was looking on YouTube, there weren't that many recent videos about the process of traveling. And I always say, check your embassy for information. Always check the government website. That will give you the most accurate information of what's going on. And again, the only thing, once we're ready to leave here, our hotel is so nice where they're doing COVID testing here for us. So they'll do the test the day prior to departure, because that is a requirement now because of the Biden administration. You leave the country, you have to have a negative test to enter the country. And I'm talking about the United States. So that's one last thing we have to do. So, but yeah, that's it. So that's my spiel on St. Lucia. It's a beautiful country. It's not talked about a lot, which is a shame, and I guess they want to keep it that way. But I encourage anyone that can go and can afford to travel, definitely do it. Definitely do it. It is worth the extra work that you had to do to get here. Okay? So thank you so much for watching my video. I'm Cambria, and I really hope that you enjoyed it so much that you press that like button. And maybe if you want to join the family, you can press the subscribe button too. It's right below. Just click on that bell. Make sure you get any notifications of any videos that'll come your way, okay? Please be safe out there. I hope you all are getting vaccinated. I know I am. I'm already vaccinated. My family's vaccinated. And we're almost back to real life. Almost there. So just be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye.